You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, guys, we're going to be talking about the World Cup. Yesterday, Spain defeated England 1-0 in the World Cup. Spain is the World Cup champs. But guys, we're living in 2023 in a post-George Floyd world where everything is seen through a racial lens. We need to talk about Sky News because they had a panel on Sky News talking about England's team. They weren't actually talking about how good this team is, and this team actually has a chance to win the World Cup, which they did eventually. It was all about the racial makeup of the team. Now, they were actually featured, I believe, like on a magazine cover or something like that, because they were actually in the World Cup final. But this woke panelist, man, black guy, by the way, from England, he got triggered. He got triggered because there was too many blonde hair, blue-eyed. I believe he wanted to say devils, but he didn't. But we do have the video clip here, guys. I mean, race baiting, man, it's just gotten out of control. Why is it, guys? And you know the only reason why he's even mentioning this is because the team is majority white. You know, it's kind of like over here in the U.S. You won't see anybody criticize the NBA and the NFL for having a majority, I'm talking about like 70, 80% black players. I mean, if you want to get down to the nitty gritty, football and the NBA, not very diverse, right? Not very diverse, but you know what? That's perfectly okay because we're living in a hate whitey world, and that's racist to me. That is just flat out racist. Now, if somebody actually came out and said that, hey, I think the NBA has too many black people, that person would be deemed a racist. But in this case, since we actually have this woke black guy, nobody's calling him out for his racism. Check this out, guys, on the Daily Mail. Race row breaks out after Sky News panelist claims England's World Cup Lioness squad isn't that diverse and is filled with blonde, blue-eyed girls. Now, guys, if you look at the demographics of England, England is more white than the U.S. I mean, by like 20% or something like that. England is like 87% white. And you're not going to find a whole bunch of non-white people. For one thing, England is in Europe, that's where white people actually come from. And I know that England has people from other places as well, but still the vast majority of people there are white. And I really don't care about the racial makeup of a team. I don't. I believe the USWNT, I believe they only had like one black person on the squad. Didn't really care. Didn't affect me. I know it was actually Dennis Rodman's daughter. But anyway, let's read some of this. A race row has interrupted after an entrepreneur claimed England's World Cup Lioness squad isn't that diverse and filled with blonde, blue-eyed football stars. Wilfred Emmanuel Jones, MBE, who claims to be one of Britain's only black commercial farmers, said the squad was, quote, not representative of Britain. Now, all of these players on the team are citizens of the UK. Why can't they actually represent Britain? I'm curious about that. Anyway, his comments made during a discussion of the Sunday front pages of Sky News have received backlash online. Some people have blasted the entrepreneur as racist, criticizing him for not accepting that the best players were chosen. Quote, I don't want to pour boiling water on it, but it isn't that diverse, the farmer said, describing the front page of the Daily Mirror, which featured a host of England stars on its cover. Now, let's go ahead and just jump over here to the video clip here, because this guy's an idiot right here. He is an idiot. He is race baiting. Now, here's the clip right here. And you can actually see Mirror Magazine right there. And they have, I believe, like 6, 7 of the players right there. And it looks like they may actually have one black player on the squad. Not enough for him. Not enough. You know, I believe in the best people for the job. And that's the way I just see it. But let's go ahead and roll this clip here, guys, because this guy is a moron.
The only thing I would say about this picture here, what jumps out of you is that this doesn't sort of represent diverse Britain. It's all these blonde, blue-eyed girls. And, you know, I wish them well. But I do think we need to ask ourselves questions about why is it that we've got, it has a lack of diversity.
They're playing sport at an elite level.
Yeah.
And they are from Britain. And they're women.
It doesn't make any difference. I think if the whole idea behind this is going to encourage more women to go and into the sport, you need some sort of representation there to say, whatever background you come from, you could get to this sort of level.
Because
Britain doesn't look like that.
Yeah,
But it
and it's so important when you speak to these little girls that they see someone that they can relate to.
Exactly. It makes such a difference. That little girl might then end up playing football because she's seen someone who looks like her.
But it doesn't detract
It's
from what they've
fashionable
done.
to knock men, but if this was a man, it would be...
This is ridiculous, man. This is absolutely ridiculous right here. Race baiting. Guys, I'm a black guy. I am a tennis fan, okay? And my 2 favorite tennis players of all time on the men's side just so happen to be white. Rafa Nadal and the great Pete Sampras. If I was to play tennis, it would actually be because of them and not because of their skin color. Steffi Graf is my favorite tennis player on the women's side. She's white. She's from Germany. I don't care about their race whatsoever. I just don't. Guys, these people today, man, are so focused, man, on racial division, man. I mean, how can you actually live your life when you see every single thing through a racial lens? I'm pretty sure, you know, that there are white kids out there. They were inspired to play basketball because of Michael Jordan. They were not thinking about his skin color. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time, the most famous basketball player of all time. I mean, guys, just a few weeks ago, a kid was actually catching some heat because he wanted to look like Patrick Mahomes, I believe. I believe he had his hairstyle like Patrick Mahomes or somebody. Also in another sport as well. This white kid wanted to look like one of his favorite baseball players. I believe he just so happened to be black. I don't remember his name. But the kid was catching heat. He was inspired by a person that didn't look like him. But people in the woke sports media today, they have to make every single thing about race. And this is destroying sports. Make no mistake about it, guys. This kind of thing is destroying sports. Your Colin Kaepernicks of the world, your Megan Rapinos that focus on race. And in the case of Megan Rapinoe, you know, she's focused on men identifying as women. That's a whole nother story right there, so I digress. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, this guy's a complete moron. A complete moron. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.